Mithun, are you a Malayali?
Yeah, I am a Malayali.
You are, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we
Okay.
have Abhijit also there.
Yeah.
Akash Maurya joined. So
Yes.
yeah.
I think we can start, Arun. You can go ahead with the session.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know what is going to be. So I'll Varshini told I need to actually tell about me. So I need to do the self promotion parts first. I'll hope you are able to follow me. Okay. So do let me know whenever there is some kind of issue. Do let me know. So I'll be speaking about myself a little bit. I'll try to make it short. Okay. And I'll try to actually brief some of the works that I've done, and you can actually ask, you can even start asking from that point. Okay, so I went through your profiles. I am actually looking, I mean, I looked into what Makerghat is actually doing, and I think I need not do the basics. You are kind of, into teaching, into passionate teaching. So first I must start with yeah. So yeah, so because I love teaching, and I love teachers who are passionate. And yeah, so I hope
A small interruption. We are not into teaching. We are into learning. Even now.
exactly. So that is exactly why I love. I mean, when I went through your profiles and Makergut, yeah. No, I get very few responses like this, yeah. Because especially when we get into the context of people who are into teaching, I don't know. Uh, I have this thinking that many of them actually move away from learning and become delivery machines. So yeah, so I'm kind of very happy to be with you people here today. It is like yeah. So I'm excited on that aspect. Then okay. For one small thing, I'll be looking into. So this my mobile phone is placed on this side. Okay, so whenever I look, just understand that I'm great on looking on the fine. That is it. Looking on the same screen, I am seeing you people also. I mean, there as well. Yeah. So I'm a teacher primarily. I'm a teacher. I'm teaching MBA students. So I teach operations management, entrepreneurship, project management, business ethics, and decision making. So these are my areas of teaching. So how this kind of an exploration? We hope you might have seen the poster or the no session thing. I am going to, or we are going to discuss on game-based teaching, or how to actually develop games which can be used for delivering or facilitating learning. So that is the idea. I actually started exploring this thing around 10 years back, when I started my career as an MBA teacher. So when I got excited about this thing, I actually did few game-based sessions for my students, and it was primarily on operations management. So I could simulate many things in the classroom, and students. I mean, I found it to be really effective than the usual lecturing thing. So then I started exploring real research in the area, and that was the time when gamification started becoming a huge trend globally. So it actually started after 2008, but then when I started exploring this thing around that, 2012, there are a lot of literature available in that particular thing, but none from our country. So our country was very behind in that aspect, and I really got excited, and so I was developing games, few games to teach, and I was primarily thinking that this is actually the first no first person in the world who is doing this kind of a thing. I was very newbie at that point of time, and that kind of an excitement was there, and I was thinking like how could we actually patent this game and things like that. But then you need to understand one more thing. I'm not a programmer. Not a computer guy. Whatever, whenever I speak about games, those are games I use inside classrooms, physical things, which can be converted into digital also if I get a help of a game developer in that area. So that is how those things go. So when I got into this, I started exploring this area. Then I was thinking about my PhD, and I took this as a topic for my PhD research as well. So that is when I really understood. Actually, the first game in MBA was done by Harvard University in 1953. So that was, and there is a lot of things that is happening already outside our country, and I used my own designs for my research. It was an experiment, control group, experimental group kind of comparative study and things like that. So, which is more effective for skill development. So, primarily it was for employability skill development. So, that is the research history of things. And currently, through that journey, I started associating with a startup called Thought School. We are into training, doing this kind of experiential training programs for college students, which will help them to again develop employability skills. So that is how that happened. And then I also started associating with current now. Right now, I am associated with this a game development studio called Banzan Studios. We are into hyper casual games. They are not actually educational games, but I kind of help them in developing concept little bit because those are very easy to play. Depth is very less, like no currently. But then I am associated with that studio, so that is how I mean the developer part of it is actually the that company is doing that part, and I am a mentor. I am a mentor to students through my journey in my career. But then this part, I think you will be better than in my position to touch people's life. I think I have in my own capacity tried to do that. So one thing that I love as a teacher is we get an opportunity to touch people's lives. So I take it as a responsibility. And as the Spider-Man says, when that no, I feel the other way. It is not with power that comes responsibility. I think when we take responsibility, I think we become powerful. So that is what I think about that particular thing. So when we have this responsibility to touch people's life, which we are kind of given, or according to the situation, we are doing that. I think we becomes powerful. So I am enjoying that kind of a power, which we kind of people get along with our students to kind of implement stuff to their world, their minds and things like that. So that is happening in one side. I'm continuing my research into game development. I'm experimenting with few tools, digital tools. I don't know how many of you are aware. I mean, how many of you are using a tool called Padlet? Anybody who is using Padlet here? So I'll be using that. I mean, we'll be using that, and it is actually basically a posting platform. But then you can share it with your students, and you can take feedbacks. You can actually take responses of your students through their platform. It is a very, I mean, I started exploring that during the Corona days, but then even after that, I use it in my offline classrooms. So that is one tool that we'll be exploring today. Then actually, I think I have a content that is designed. We'll be going through that. So Vashini asked me what particular thing I'll be discussing. So I said, okay, we can actually coin it into. There is a study that is done by a Chinese researcher, and we will be primarily focusing our discussion around that particular paper. It is called EFM framework, which is actually developing an effective learning environment. Then with the concept of flow, how many of you are aware, and how many of you explore the idea called flow? Flow. There is an idea called flow. Anybody who is familiar with that concept of flow? No. Okay, fine. So we'll be looking to that idea, which you can also participate, or you want to participate. And let me see how it also comes through. It is not that a big game, okay? But then when I'm thinking about sharing game ideas with you, I thought you need to also get a small experience of that. So that is one thing. So these are the basics. Okay, these are before the session. These are the things that I wanted to share with you. Uh, any questions at this point of time? Is my audio clear? Is the way I'm speaking? Is it clear for you people to follow? Any place, because that is basics. So if you are not able to follow me, because I know the way I speak might be because this is my experience is a lot with South India. I'm dealing with students mostly here. So I need to ensure that you are able to follow me, and I'm good, and we are good. So let me. And Varshini also told me you might be introducing yourself. Is that thing happening? I don't know. I mean, what is the next process, Varshini? Shall I get into the process, or is there a uh, is there a thing that is coming from your side, from the fellows?
I think let it. Sorry, there's a lot of
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think we ask a few fellows who want to introduce themselves and their work. They can raise
Yeah,
their hand.
because I would like to listen.
Yeah.
Although I have gone through your brief thing that you are given, because I don't want to be a very. I want to. I mean, let us explore stuff according to what your needs are. So I think.
I think we can let maybe whoever wants to go first and introduce themselves and their work
Yeah.
can raise their hand.
Yes. Yes.
Actually,
Would anyone want to go?
while hearing about his experience and the environment he has done so far, I was wondering from which point we would excuse him. So I'm totally confused. He's a BTech graduate. Sir, what's your area of specialization? Engineering?
Engineering, I have done mechanical engineering, but then that
Yes.
is only in, I mean, only by degree. Okay. I have
Yes.
done a small internship kind of thing in Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So that is what happened after my BTech. But then I was bitten by the psychology bug very early in my life, kind of during my high school days. Okay, I'll give that little bit of the story. I was actually influenced by. We had a second language book in our mother tongue about Vivekananda. So I started reading Vivekananda along with that thing. So he in his books he's speaking a lot about psychology. So that is how I really got interested in psychology. Then I had this habit of reading Sherlock Holmes as well. So these things actually blended together and put those things into my mind. So I was having this spiritual kind of readings and this Sherlock Holmes kind of reading. So I started exploring that. So that was there. And I thought I designed. Okay, so this is a backstory. I designed my first game when I was in my fifth standard. So that was a physical game that we played with my friends. So I kind of started thinking that I'm good in conceptualizing and designing. That is how I chose mechanical engineering. But then, even in my degree college, I was doing a little bit of teaching as a part of a club called, there is something called IST, Society for Technical Education, which is actually a club. Usually, these kind of clubs are there in engineering colleges. So, as part of that, I was doing small deliveries to the fellow students and juniors, and slowly I started getting good feedbacks from my teachers that you are teaching good. So then I attended a training program called Turning Point. So I really got fascinated by the trainer there. Then I understood there is a profession like this, and I slowly started aligning myself there. I started exploring that part, self-help kind of stuff. After BTech, I went to this HL training, but even there I was doing counselings and things with my fellow people there. So I thought it will be a waste of time if I pursue my core engineering because I am not that kind of a person. So I kind of shifted to training as an assistant trainer. I joined with the training foundation. And we were doing training programs for engineering college students on employability skills. So I have kind of visited mostly in South India, mostly in Kerala. More than 30, 40 engineering colleges, we had clients. So first 3 years of my career was that. Then I started. Then I did my MBA along with that. I have a Master of Arts in philosophy also. So that is another area of interest that I have. Philosophy and culture, history, anthropology, those kind of things. So then this started getting blended together when I got into game development. Everything, these kind of things are actually really good when it comes to designing games, understanding people, and delivering things. So that is how that emerged. So that is the academic side of it. PhD is on, I said, So I have framed it for PhD purposes, but primarily it is on using a game to develop employability skills. So that was that part. Then last Corona year, I did a strategy program from IIM Ahmedabad, and as you said, I like to see myself as a learner. So I'm in search for the next course. Also, I am loading. I'm a student of complexity science now. I am a student of cognitive science, but then these are online programs that I try to pursue. But then these are very interesting areas, which helps a lot in designing. So if people really into design thinking, complexity science is really interesting. If especially when you're if you are from a tech background, you can even follow the maths there. I'm trying to understand the conceptual side of it. Yeah. Then I do little bit of consultancy to businesses and especially startups. I'm in charge of the startup incubation hub here in my college. So that is another. I teach entrepreneurship also. So I try to motivate people to do or to start things. Uh, so yeah, I think that briefs it, that part. Yes. So I think I have taken your time, Ziad, again. So this happens when you allow me to speak. So don't allow me
Actually,
to
still you
speak.
are looking very young. Young. You
I'm
have
I'm
done all
into.
these specialization. Yeah, you are looking less than 25 years. And what you
Oh,
are,
wait.
in which
Let me
area you
record
are
it.
not good in.
Okay, let me record it. I need to show it to. I mean, my wife need to see this.
Yeah.
So
So
the very recent qualification, the latest qualification I have is I'm a newborn father. So my child is around
Great,
1.5 years
great,
old now.
congrats.
Yeah. So not that newborn now. It is around 1.5 years now. But then yeah, I see that as another learning cycle that I need to get into. Yes.
yeah, Dr. Arun, in the interest of time, since this is a 1 hour session,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
we can start with the session and we can take it from the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So in between, whenever you start, so Ziadji, whenever you people start, so know I might be asking about your work. Okay. So how we goes is I would love to know. You can start thinking about a content that you want to make into a game, so that you can take some kind of inputs from my side how to convert it into a game. It can be the maker workshop that you do, or some other content that you teach as a part of your classroom. So that is up to you. But then that is how you can make use of me to get ideas, about converting a content into a game. So as a part of my research, I have developed a framework which will actually help teachers to convert their content into games. So I'll be introducing that framework to you. So that framework is actually implementing whatever concept that we are learning today, uh, so that we can incorporate this concept into a game or create a situation, create a learning environment which will actually help us to manifest the concept that we are discussing today. Fine. So, shall I put it a small test? Ready? Okay. So first, let me help you to know what a parrot is. So I'll actually share a parrot to you. I'm going to share a link into the chat box. You can click on that link, and I have already added your names. So below your name, you will see a plus button. Click on that plus button, uh, and write your name. I mean, now you do not write your name. Write your area of teaching. Say if you teach maths, then maths or whatever. Okay. Write your area of teaching. Then I will be asking to actually post the content also there, but then not now. You can copy paste, wherever it is available. You can copy paste. But then I just want you to actually start doing with this Padlet thing. So those stuff. So let me actually. So I am posting it in the chat box. Control V. Yes. Hope you're able to click on it. Have you got it? Yes. So now let me start my screen sharing. So entire screen. Let me take you to the Padlet. So let us see where things are. Hope you are able to see this. Now you need to click on these plus buttons and add, add the name of the content or your teaching area. That is it. I mean, this is just basics, okay? Just introducing Padlet to you. That is the part here. Science and technology, okay? So this is Padlet. Okay, so we can use this in this format. You can actually ask questions, take individual no, responses from students. So asking a general question and taking responses in the class might limit your responses, but then you can get everybody's response in a Padlet, and it is recorded. They also get a feedback. So the loop is there. No? Once you put this in display as a projected display, you will get a loop as I am doing now. So this is a very good platform to do this kind of stuff. You can do a little bit of this using Google Jamboard also, but then I like the visuals of this particular application and the features of this thing. So that is why I use this thing. Yeah. So we have physics. Rayhana, so I'm actually putting it your thing into Rayhana itself. Okay, try to see your name. I already added your name, so you did not add your name again. Just below that, you can type in the content that you teach. So this is one particular format that you get in Padlet, where you can actually give a space, a particular space for one person. So I'm actually I have created one particular space for one of you. So um, so whoever is there can actually do that. Uh, I mean, is there any difficulties that you're facing? Are you good? I'm not seeing more responses. Is there any issues with it? Yeah, Hazi, yes, mathematics. Hope it is okay to call you by name. I mean, it's really okay, but then I do have this habit of calling people using G and all. I might be using it, but then whenever I see a name, I just call it by that. Okay, don't feel bad because I'm 25, right? Zia G. So don't think like a 25-year-old is calling you by name. I'm into
Yes,
my
yes,
40s.
yes.
Okay, don't worry on that aspect. Yeah. Yes.
I think
So
Abhishek,
yeah, the science
Akash.
thinking entrepreneurship. Yes, Abhijit. Yes, science. Good, good, good. Thank you, thank you. Fine. So let me get into my presentation now. So I'm going to I'm going to present. I'm going to introduce a question to you. Okay. So this might be familiar to you. I'm not sure. If you know the answer, just put the answer in Padlet. Okay. So you can type it in Padlet, and we'll see how are the responses coming in, because this is actually I got this as a forward email. uh, so it might be something that you already know. Can you tell me the answer for this? Anybody? Maths teachers especially.
Has he is only the maths person.
No, no, no. Everybody need to respond to this. It's a very easy one. You need not worry about maths too much here. Anyone? Anyone? I will not be giving too much time for this. Okay. I'll give you the context also here. So this is a context. Hope it
Three.
is readable. This is a context. So this is a task that was given to a group of children for admission into kindergarten for Japan's kids, and 74% of the children solved it. So KG means it is below mostly around 3 years, 4 years old kids. And the last part is the very interesting thing. The children were able to count up to 10. That was their depth of mathematical knowledge. Okay. Now, so this is not a maths question. That is why I showed that part. This is not a maths question. I just want to point out a problem that we usually face when we get into these kind of new things. But then I don't think you people are actually facing it because you are already into maker education and stuff like that. Even if And I also want to actually give it this question to you. You can use it with your students. It's a very interesting thing, since you none of you have responded with an answer to this question. Let me see whether there are some responses coming in. Anybody with responses? Let me see. 5, 4. Should I go for the countdown?
Is it five?
It is not 5. What was it? What is the
Three.
second response? 3. Who said that? I mean, why are you telling that?
I just
What
added
was?
and took the last digit.
Oh
First
my God! But then
least.
we are pretty sure that none of the KG admission, those
Yes, yes.
students won't be able to do that. So that is not the answer.
Can I answer?
Anybody can answer. I am
Yeah,
not
this is
seeing
a
it.
yeah number of rounds. Consider this as a
Ah,
picture and number of rounds.
who is
Wow,
answering?
great.
Who is answering? Who is answering? I am not seeing that person. Who is answering?
Yes.
Who was answering?
Jasil, great.
Jasil, you are right. Great. Okay. So, Vashini, you have selected the right person, at least in that. Okay. So the reason here is the children are counting rounds. That is it. That is what they could do. Okay. And you already have the answer here. Look, this is the answer. Okay. So why I actually started the session with this thing is, see, we have this problem of kind of, especially when you do PhD and all. So I actually want you to question me so that I cannot answer. See, when we get into something, into specializations, we have this thing like, we know, and we usually see things from that perspective, only from that perspective. So that is actually a problem. So here, even after saying that this is not a mathematical question, we are not able to actually see it as a non-mathematical question. So that is our problem. So we need to be respectful of these problems, that we are having these problems, and we also need to learn things so that we can break out of these kind of problems, which are actually our limitations. We have a lot of limitations like this. Okay, so let us pray that we'll be able to break out of this kind of thing. And uh, is there anybody here who feels like, whenever when you get into teaching, when you try to teach, you there is a lot of students, we are not able to understand students. This particular generation is different. Usually these kind of things is what teachers tell to me. What are the problems that you usually face as teachers? Can anyone actually start a little bit on that? What are the problems that you face as teachers nowadays? From your current teaching practice, passionate teaching practice, what are the problems that you face as teachers?
Rote learning.
Okay, rote learning. Okay, from students, they are mostly rote learners. Okay, so yeah, fine, good, thank you. Anything else?
Many of are unmotivated or means they do not want to learn at all sometimes.
Okay, so they do not want to learn at all, unmotivated. Okay, interesting. Okay.
Main problem these days is they think anything can be learnt on YouTube.
Okay,
Teacher,
YouTube.
when teacher is speaking or they are telling, they will feel like, अरे यार, leave it. जब घर पे रहेंगे तो YouTube पे सीख लेंगे. Not interested अभी. We'll chit chat. Main is this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Good,
same
good.
thing. I initially thought about asking about to you that nowadays after COVID, we face very tough to manage 60 students in a classroom. We are very seriously speaking them. We are very much taking effort to bring them into a career after their engineering education, but they are not at all convinced. They are making. Yesterday, I I even manhandled a kid
Oh my
because he
God.
is making
Really?
noise in my class. So I was to
Lakshmi is
ask you
recording this. Okay,
what
Ziaji,
magic we
be
have
careful.
being teachers. At least we should finish our career. So
Uh,
what is the magic available with you being a researcher, spiritual, anything, ethical way of motivating them.
I don't. There is no magic. I was actually about to ask you if you actually started solving it. Okay, so this
But
is
it was
actually the same
one
problem.
thing I can add you. Today I had
Yeah.
addressed about Makerghat program to 60 students in a nearby school for first time. I was addressing them. They were in studying in seventh and eighth and ninth grades, but they are very passionately responding to all my questions.
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
it is. I am addressing them for first time, but
Hmm.
I am addressing my regular students for the last 2 years. They don't. So I think there is something, some drawback in me to convince the students.
Okay, finally, you are. So let me pitch in. If there is a student, so this is my approach to it. Okay, if there is a student who is actually a nuisance, if there is a student who is not listening to me or no, who is not into learning in my classroom, that is not that student's problem. That is my problem. So that is the point where I actually start and think it. I don't know. So this is how I take it very personal. So this is my problem. But then I'll allow little bit of my problem also because I cannot solve everything. But I'll try to actually learn. And as you, Ziaji, as you rightly said, this is the thing that I am seeing also. They are ready for hands-on things. They want hands-on things. They want new things. So I am starting to think, or I am already a lot more convinced that the problem is not exactly with us. The problem is with the syllabus. Mostly than the syllabus, the problem is the assessment practices that we have. Because we are forced to deliver the syllabus so that the usual examination thing is done, and that is happening. So that is a real problem is what I think. So if we can do away the assessment practices, if we can actually bring in new assessment practices which will actually assess the other things, the real things, then I think changes may start happening. So personally, if you ask me, I try to detach exams and classroom teaching into two. So, but then that might be possible in an MBA classroom. I don't know how much you people will be able to actually do that, but then something that you can think and try at least is, see, I'll first. I have solution for their exam things. I have notes prepared. I have previous year question paper and stuff like that. But then that thing will be delivered to them towards the end when the exam is coming. So I first goes to them and tells that your exam will be addressed when exam is coming, and this is the way we are going to address it. Yeah, I'll be giving notes and I'll be giving you major questions, and we'll be actually exploring question paper things. So that part. Then I tell whatever we do is real things. We'll be addressing things so that you can practice it, and from there I kind of reinforces this approach. When I was there and teach. And usually what happens is there'll be some students who will be not following this thing, and there'll be other students who want read the exam kind of thing. So that thing is there. But this is how I try to solve it. Okay, so that could be one thing that if possible that we can do. Again, I am saying if possible, because in schools and especially in the current education system, it is quite difficult. Okay, so yeah, so I have listed those problems. Let us see what we can actually do with it. So let us try to build some ships to help us navigate this thing. So yeah, these are some modern day practices that you can actually think about. Again, even with this, where to start our approaches. So in Maker Education, you are actually trying to do problem-based learning, PBL kind of a thing. There is game-based learning. You can actually use small games. Gamification can be used. Storytelling helps a lot. Now, storytelling is another very interesting area that can be learned. So if we use real good stories, that I mean, I find it even no, the real old people are actually, when we start telling a story, there is some kind of attention that I am able to get. Okay, so I think that is some you can start exploring storytelling in depth to get that attention, to start getting that attention. Okay. So that is one part. Now, little bit on gamification. So gamification is one thing. As said, this is actually was a trend from 2012, but then that trend subsided towards 2018 because there was a lot of investment that came to this thing, the area called gamification. Companies started gamifying their products, and but gamification, if not done in depth, will not give you returns. There is something called novelty effect in education. I mean, if you're aware of this thing called novelty effect, can anybody tell what novelty effect is? So novelty effect, I'm not seeing a response. So novelty effect says whenever you introduce something new in the classroom, some new kind of practice in the classroom, there tend we tend to get more attention than the usual thing. So there is a deviation. So you can try introducing new things. So how many new things can you introduce itself will help you actually improve your teaching practice. So novelty effect will help you because when we introduce something new to the classroom, there will be an effect. So what happens with gamification is whenever people get into gamification, gamification is very easy. Actually, the low hanging fruit in this area. Because you can start adding points to the usual things. You can add, you can start giving. You will go on delivering the way that you did, or the teachers did in the previous generation, like lecturing. But then after asking question and getting a feedback or the answer, you will start giving points to that. So that is pointsification. That is actually one element of gamification. So similarly, you can start adding elements of games into non-game context. So that is what gamification is. So games have many things to it. Okay. So these things can be added to a context, and that context may become more engaging. So may become more engaging. But when you don't do in depth, then whatever experiments have shown is that it usually degrades. So my approach or my whatever I try to promote is game-based teaching. So that there the idea is to convert the content into a full-fledged game itself. So I will not advise to do it with every topic that you do, but at least on the key topics or integrating some areas, we can actually start creating games, which will help when the student plays that game, they experience that content in some form, some way. So that is the idea. So where should we start doing this kind of process? So the starting point is to ask why, uh, from a design point of view as well as from a personal point of view. Why are we into teaching? Why are we gamifying? So these are two extremes of that. So why are we into teaching? I think for you people, at least it is very clear because you are selected and you are into passionate teaching. So that part is clear. Now the question practically from the design point of view comes: why should we actually? Is there a need? Why should we convert this into a game? If you get enough answers for that, so if there is a need that I cannot use any other method to actually deliver this particular content, so that they actually connects with it. So fine. So the next question is, or what is your thoughts about learning? What is learning according to you? How do you think about learning? What is your definitions of learning? You can post answers in Padlet. Okay, I'm watching Padlet also. So I have another device here. So you can go back to the Padlet and again put the plus button if you're not good to speak. If not, you can speak. What is learning according to you? So I think we need to get into some ideas on learning so that we are on a same platform. So how do you think about learning? What is learning? What is learning? Satyaprakash is not there, right? Marshini? Are you able to hear me? Hello? Good?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
yes.
hear you. Satyaprakash is not there.
Fine. So, fine. So, what is learning? Who was that responded? You can actually tell me that as well. What is learning according to you? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah.
Convince a person
Okay,
that
convincing.
information is
Convincing.
useful for me.
Okay, okay, fine. So information, the utility of information, revealing the utility of information is your learning. Utility is one part of it. Okay, yeah. Any other points of view? Any other points of view? Any other points of view? I'm not getting any response in the Padlet also. So I'll share with you what how I approach it. Okay. So from my explorations and from my experience, where I have reached is learning is primarily about connecting. So when if you get a personal connection with the content, with the context, where you deal with a particular topic, that is what learning is. So connecting is the outcome that we must focus on. So my answer for why in any teaching context is to enable my student to connect with the ideas that we are discussing. So so this is where I stand. So again, so are you good to go with that particular approach? So learning is about connecting. So that is my conclusion, or that is where I am now. It is all about connecting. So are you good to think in those lines? I need to see some kind of responses because I will be actually trying to bring everything in that angle. So learning is about connecting. Suraj, your name is after Satyas. Yeah, Suraj. You might have to swipe it to the side if you are seeing it from a mobile phone. Then you can see that.
Abhijit,
Can
go
I
ahead.
can I just say something here?
Yeah, please.
Uh,
Any point.
so my experience has been that whenever we do any kind of facilitation in the class, there are discussions, etc., or there are activities. The children actually, the learners reflect, and the learning actually comes from reflection. Learning comes from activities.
Reflection. Reflection. Reflection.
You know,
Activities.
so my point is that whatever we are doing in the class or whatever discussions are happening in the class, learning happens when you learn to reflect properly, and from there, real learning comes. That's what I wanted to share here.
So that is mostly, I think, Abhijit, you meant about debriefing. So whenever you gave I think that is what you meant. Whenever you give an activity again, you need to actually
Yeah.
help them conceptually and
Reflect.
verbally
Yes.
connect with the stuff. Okay. Yes, yes. But
Yes.
then I take it more of as an evidence. So that is an evidence of learning. Learning must have happened
Okay.
even before that. Okay, so this is actually helping us
Okay.
to know. Okay, they have learned because once we reflect and
Hmm.
they also come to agreements. Yeah, now we can be sure of learning. But then
Yes.
learning actually need to happen even before that. So that is because these kind of things will help you to reveal their insights as well as help us to reveal our insights. So
Right. Right.
again, we are reinforcing those connections which it's already formed. So that is how I see it. Yeah, but then definitely that is a practice that we need to have. So once we are very clear with the why, then what and how follows. So this is a very traditional model. It's actually the three ways of three major questions that you can think about any design, any situation. But then why must be clear is what we need to start thinking. So why must be very clear. Should I tell a story for that so that you'll remember this? Are you good for a story? Yes. Are you good for a story? Shall I tell a story? I mean, I'm asking this because I mean, is it
Yes,
clear? Are
please.
you able to hear me? Yeah, yeah, fine. So online is something that I will use this thing in between, okay? Because there are chances that I am speaking and you are not able to actually, you are not getting it. So yeah, that is it. So I have actually read a story about Chanakya. So people asked Chanakya, why you made Vikramaditya the king? Because Chanakya did everything. He planned. He was actually the professor of political economy in Nalanda, and he was a skilled person. He identified Chandragupta, and he actually mentored him. He actually gave a situation where that person can be the king. But even Chanakya had reasons. Chanakya's parents were killed by Nanda kings, or actually their death was caused in a way by Nanda kings. So there was personal revenge. There was professional proof that he might want to have because he is teaching political economy and stuff like that. So to build an economy, real economy, personally must be good. So, but then that is what Chanakya told. See, I am not a king. I wanted to avenge Nanda because he or that kingdom caused the death of my parents, or there was something adharmic that they have done. So that is a very personal reason. There is a personal cost to it. But a king is not born, or a king should not be driven by those kind of things. People love Chandragupta. I am not a person who actually gets that kind of love, and that is very important for a king. See, this is the reason that Chanakya gave for not choosing to be a king, and he actually goes back to Nalanda to teach after establishing everything, after the Arthashastra thing and all. So look, even if you look at the entire history, this is a guy who have established the biggest kingdom, the largest kingdom, being a professor. So being a professor and practicing what you teach, I think this is a guy to look for, or at least one guy who is really no really significant in that context. So clarity of why is no is beautiful. Once we have a clarity on why we are doing it, that drives us. That makes us to make choices very easily. We can actually leave. Mostly we are we'll be in a position where what to neglect, how to where to say no will become very easy for us. So we can trim down. The lean practices will come to the picture. So that happens. So that is the beauty of why. So whenever we gets into teaching, this is what we are trying to do. Whatever interventions we brings into a teaching context, whether it is a lecture, whether it is a game, whether it is a demonstration. See, there are things that the student can teach or the student can learn by that person itself. So that is what the student can reach by that person if there is no other kind of help, especially personal help that student takes. But there should be a gap between where we can take that student to. In between that space is called the zone of proximal development, ZPD. So a teacher's space is that. How can we help the student from the previous place to this particular space where the student will not be reaching by that person if through personal efforts. So usually I think our exam systems are actually putting the student here itself. There is no new spaces where the student is taken to. But I think as teachers, we need to actually help the student, overcome all these challenges to reach there. So I think this is another way we need to see things. Now, what are the essentials of a game? What are the essentials of a game? So let me take to the game part of things now. How do you define a game? How can you think about a game? Can you give me some basic things about a game? What are basic factors that should be there for a game? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So I'm making this thing. Yeah, learning means getting things. Oh, okay. So we have some definitions of learning also coming. Oh, okay, fine. I think your response comes a little late here. New knowledge, skills attaining. Okay, fine. So we will have the discussion a little later then. So since I am not getting the response of this also, these are you can think about gift. This is not the only elements, okay? But at least these are the basic elements. Or you can start from the game. Starts with a gift. So goal, there will be instructions or rules. So instructions primarily means rules. So instructions is written just to think of gift. Okay, so that we can build that acronym. Feedback or loops. So that is another part of game. Then there's a lot of exchanges that we need to facilitate in a game. There need to be communication, transactions, interactions. That is a must. Okay, so game experience in a classroom is the opposite of a lecture experience in many ways, because lecture means we need silence, we need them to attend to this particular one place. That is not how game goes. Game means there will be a lot of pandemonium, there will be a lot of things happening, there will be a lot of noise coming in, but once we have very good design, very specific interactions will be happening, and there will be a lot of exchanges. We can actually regulate those things using the instructions or rules. We can give feedbacks as the game is progressing, and we have an outcome that is predefined, pre-conceptualized, which everybody strives to achieve. So this is how these are the basics that you need to think when we think about a game. Okay. Now let me take you to the idea of flow now. Okay. Again, I am just checking. Are you good? Are you following me? Are we good? How is the speed? Should I reduce? I think we can. I mean, how is the speed? Like, are you good? Are you able to follow me? Are you able to get ideas? Is it how is it going? I mean, the ideas, the flow of ideas. That is what I'm saying. Are you good? I mean, shall I proceed?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. So fine. So this particular research was done by a person called Chitsan Mihai. Again, I might not be pronouncing the name correctly. So here, this is about motivation. So how you can think about this is whenever we bring an activity to a classroom, whenever we bring an experiment to a classroom, whenever we do a workshop, we need to think about two things. One is what are the challenges that we put across to these people, and what are the abilities of these people who are participating in it. So when the challenges are really high compared to their abilities, that no, they will be kind of out of that context. But when the challenges is very low, they'll get easily bored as well. So this is how things are. So these are the kind of emotions that you can, facilitate through that. So when it is optimum, when the challenges and the abilities are matching, they say you must actually put the challenges little above the abilities, a little bit above the abilities. So when that is happening, people tend to be in a state of flow. There is a lot of automatic things happening. There is emotion happening. There is natural connections. The brain optimizes for connecting information. So that happens in our life. We might have got many of these experiences at times while we are taking a session, while we are preparing. There can be chances that you have already experienced flow at many times, but then you tend to think that this is my one time thing. I even have thought like whenever no, you would expose to in ancient Indian scriptures, there is an idea of yoga yukta. So yoga yukta is kind of near to this idea. So when you are doing things from that mindset, they say you need to actually do stuff from a yoga yukta mindset. That means you are connected, and there is a skill utilization that is happening. So these are the kind of so the focus should be on that ability challenge combination, and slightly challenging people above their abilities. Okay. So at this point, let me actually try to challenge you, okay, a little bit. See, so you can go to the Padlet. We can even so you can go to the Padlet. I would like you to copy paste a content that you teach there, in an area. I'll ask you to actually copy paste a syllabus part. See, 4 or 5 concepts or whatever the usual set of concepts that you teach. Just post one content, one set of things that you teach. Then let us get to an exercise. Okay, a small exercise will be really useful for you. So you can post a content area that you are actually teaching. So can you actually go to the Padlet and use a content? I mean, post a content area that you teach. So I stopped my screen share. So what I've asked is to identify a content area and post the major contents there. Okay. Then I'll show you something. Then we'll try to explore something. An idea that we need to master when we start designing games. So this is one major thing that we need to master when we are thinking about game design. Yeah. So can you post into the Padlet? Should I post the Padlet again? I think you can get the link there itself in the chat. So get into the Padlet, post a set of contents that you teach in the classroom. Connected ones or See, for us, it usually comes, university gives a module one, module two, module three kind of thing. So I'll think of a module one, the concepts in module one. So that will be one content area that I teach. Similarly, what is some content that you teach? Can you post it in the Padlet? As we are doing it, you can ask questions also. So, because it might take see, 2-3 minutes for sure. So can you post things in the Padlet? I'm looking and I'm waiting for the questions also. If you have questions, please do ask. I'm seeing Hasiji. Do you have a question? Your face tells you have some questions. You don't have questions. Okay. I can understand. I don't know. I
I
can
am
understand.
totally in a mood to listen everything, grasp it, and then
Don't
put.
don't do that.
Usually, I
Don't do that.
speak a lot, but today I'm totally in a mood to listen first.
No, no, no,
So that's
no.
why
I will
I'm
not
quiet.
allow that because I'm not giving you any kind of no big when I want to actually make it. I mean, so
No,
this
actually,
is where
today
it
it is
happens.
opposite happening. Usually, I speak a lot. Everybody knows
Uh,
that.
yeah, Rehana ji, what about you?
I think as he has frightened in your diverse image.
Aziz,
No,
is that a girl or a boy? I'm. It's a
it's
girl,
my
right?
daughter. I am like
Daughter.
relating what I do to what you are saying. I mean, in my mind, I'm
Okay.
just relating things what I do and sorting out what is to be done. So that is why
Okay.
I'm like little bit quiet. मैं ये
Okay.
नहीं कर पा रही हूँ या फिर मैं ये कर रही हूँ. So I now usually Varshini always say थोड़ा नेगेटिव ढूंढो उससे कुछ अच्छा होगा. You will grow. So I
Okay.
never
Okay.
find that negative. Now I found that negative. So that is why I'm like listening. In the end,
Okay.
मैं बोलूंगी जरूर बोलूंगी. I'll ask.
Actually you can use Hindi also. I can understand, but then
Oh,
ज़्यादा मैं
okay.
I watch movies. I can understand movies and stuff like that. So बोलना तो दौड़ा दौड़ा ही आता है ना. I think. Yeah, Rehana ji, you were about to ask something.
I'm little bit interested about it because uh, what I'm saying in my class. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm facing the problem in my classroom while teaching problems. Uh, example question solutions. They are not at all interested in doing that. If I can change that in game, so many days before I thought about it, but I haven't get any idea to proceed that. But I think today I got one person to to proceed that. I think just like that color. That just in a different color pattern questions and pick the write the equation and pick the corresponding data from the
Okay.
question section.
Okay.
If it is possible, then they will do without a hesitation. They will try to solve those problems and some. I think they can reach the goal or destination. In which way the I don't exactly how to add up. I don't exactly know. What I'm feeling is that I couldn't make them interested in doing NCRT solutions. It will be better if there is a platform for gamification for doing that problems and solutions by their own way. Something.
Huh. So you tested a particular method, right? So that is why I understood the color thing and all. You tried something
Just
different.
just like that, put a question.
Okay.
And if it is online, we can do it. Datas in different colors, and
Okay.
write the equation.
Hmm.
In that equation, each letter having particular color. But
Okay.
data in the question set corresponding color. Please pick the corresponding color and try it in uh, and consequently doing the problem. and finally
Fine.
getting the
So,
answer. I don't
fine,
know
fine. So,
exactly what I felt in my mind I could communicate or not.
fine.
That
So
is
that is
one.
why. So that is a very specific thing that you are telling. I need to know the context little more. I think most of us we need to actually know the context little more to understand. But then that is okay. So the idea is again to think about this kind of solutions where we are giving a goal to the student, an outcome. As you said, the outcome we are very much clear about the outcome. Then we are setting some rules so that within the rules only the students try to reach those outcomes. Then another thing is to make sure that interactions are happening. Putting them to teams will work. Okay, so we can actually try to group them and enable them to interact within those rules. Some exchanges can can be facilitated. So you can introduce say tokens or no stuff like that. Excuse me, let me drink a little bit water. So you can introduce tokens, some kind of point system, which will motivate them. So you can see these kind of things will be this you can use these kind of tokens, right? So these kind of things will help them. We'll be able to get a count of it also. So the end of the class, the team that got maximum number of tokens, so that way there is some kind of feedback that is coming to us as well. So as you have posted algebra, geometry, numbers, trigonometry. Then Suraja posted cathode ray discharge tube experiment. Now discharge tube experiment is one, but then will not be. I mean, this is one very specific thing. Storytelling will help there. So my idea is, so why I wanted you to actually list out these areas. Next, when you actually start building a game, the next part we need to know, we need to have is converting our content into a connected structure. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I converted one of my content, one of my entire syllabus into a structure. Okay, so just see it, you will get some ideas. Try to develop this kind of structures. So that was one small experiment that I wanted to do, but then you will get ideas how it can be done. Okay, so let me again share my screen once again, my entire screen. So this is how, this is one way you need to start approaching it. You need to convert your content into structures, into diagrams like this. Okay. So this is one subject area that I teach. So this is entrepreneurship development and project management. I think we are already one person, Avijit, who is into these kind of things. So this is my visual of this entire syllabus. Okay, so this is the entire university syllabus that my students have to learn in one semester. So I'll be teaching them using this structure. But then why this structure? There are many reasons. One is there is already a network structure process that they need to learn as a part of project management. So it is connected to what they learn in another way as well. When you are able to connect concepts into this kind of a structural diagram, then making a game around these connections will become easy. We need to know this kind of connection from our content. So that is one basic requirement for a game-based teacher. Game-based teacher must be able to connect the content that they teach, connect the sub-concepts in that content they teach in many formats. So we need to have at least three ways of connecting the content that we teach. Three ways of visualizing the content. So once we have that kind of a depth with our content, then that content will be an organic form in our mind. That particular requirement or condition, once it is satisfied, making it into different formats of game becomes easy. Okay, so this is one idea that I'm giving you. So take it. No, we don't have that kind of time to actually make it into a complete structured thing. But you can try. You can actually try to send it to me. Okay, even afterwards. Try to develop a diagram around your content. Okay, so then I mean this software helps me actually to take it in this kind of ways. Okay, so this is a software called Prezi, which I use. So you can actually focus into different areas of content. So whenever you teach one content, you can actually present that. Okay. So this is actually one particular so when I teach the basic part of it, I'll be teach using this thing. So basic concepts in project management will be taught using this particular part. So they actually gets an idea of how things are connected, how the concept that they are learning are connected to each other. See, when they learn about leadership, team building, but then team building is also connected to organization, how organization building is, so this kind of the inside the content, inside the syllabus that they are learning, there are connections among the concepts. So once we can reveal those connections, they'll be they'll be getting an affinity to connect. So because they need to understand what connecting is. So there are these kind of connections, and our brain also works. Hope you know, we have this networked neurons. So our brain is also wired to connect. So and there is multiple routes that we take for connection. So when we are able to actually visualize our content in a connected format, that will help us a lot towards designing a game. So this is one practice that I do. Okay, so that is clear for you. Now getting back to what we were discussing, so I shared the idea of flow. Now, very fast, let me take you through the next set of ideas, and we'll move towards complete interactions. Okay. So the major ideas that I wanted to discuss today is one is Cole's approach towards. So this is Cole's experiential learning model. I think at least the maker education, maker labs that you actually do, you are actually following these parts mostly, accommodating, converging, active experimentation, concrete experience kind of a thing. But then I think Avjit told us about assimilating and thinking also. So this is actually a cyclic experience. You can actually take them through one to the other, to the other, to the other. So these are different dimensions that we can be aware of. This is slightly technical. You need not know I have understand everything right now. But another model that you can explore towards understanding how to deliver, how learning happens. This is one beautiful model. Okay, so these are four dimensions of converting a learning into an experience. So these are the kind of four experiences that we get. So there is this active experimentation kind of process that we do. There can be abstract conceptualization where we actually lecture it and enable them to visualize it. Then we actually expose demonstration and observation comes. So inside labs, this kind of a thing approach will work. Then making them do things. So this is what the maker things come in. Even doing a game is actually here. There will be a lot of experimentation also. So game and all is coming to this quadrant. Classroom will be happening somewhere in this area. Okay, so this is a model that you can think about. So this is the model that I wanted to or this is the central model that we were about to discuss today. We are discussing today EFM model, effective learning and creating an effective learning environment with the help of educational game, enabling flow experiences so that their students are motivated. Then once they are motivated, so one major challenge that we face is to motivating them. As you said, they know that YouTube will teach. They know that memorizing will help them to actually deliver it in examination. So these kind of conceptualizations are already there. So we need to help them break it. So the only way is to make them connect to the idea. So this is the total. This is the overall model of it. Okay. Now again, I am not and for the I'm not going in depth, but then at least we need to know the dimensions of this. So we already said about how the conceptualizing content in a diagrammatic form will start us towards thinking about activities and games around that content. Once we have now these are the how we need to think about the environment design. Okay, so effective learning environment will have direct engagement. There will be different tools that we use. We need to address how they are motivated. Distractions again. So this is where rules comes in. Okay, so whatever we give them. See, for example, you can actually convert the mobile phone, especially when it is adult classroom, or mobile phones into a partner than an enemy of learning. So once you use this kind of platform, the mobile phone becomes a partner to our teaching practice. Okay. Then specific goals, outcomes that we want. Then interaction and feedback is really important. So as you are as you so I'm trying to demonstrate also. So I'm taking your responses using this Padlet kind of a thing. I'm looking at it, trying to give personalized responses to people. At least if you can do, say, in a 60 people classroom, if you can do it with 10 people, but change those 10 in the next class, that will set a tone, and it will become a practice. So team, for making them into teams and addressing one team at a time, uh, giving responses to one person in that team, those kind of practices will help you. Now, experiences can be driven using these dimensions. Goals, we need, as said in the above section also, we said feedback should be very clear. Okay, then skills and challenge match need to be brought into the picture. Situation, how are the students getting control of the context? That is also important. When we bring a game into the situation, students will get a feel that they are controlling that situation. They are able to manipulate. You can even allow them to manipulate a little bit, but then give feedbacks around that. So I said it will not be a perfect situation, but you will be able to address it. You will be able to understand the personality of people. That will enable you to give very personalized feedback. So that is how, when we do this kind of thing, we'll start becoming slowly mentors also. So this will give you a context for personalized mentoring. Okay, then there are automatic things, like this is a flow experience. So there is something called autopoiesis also. So what happens is, when you design a particular flow based experience and you have this challenge skill matching, and there is a lot of, once people are really challenged and their skills are at par with it, and there is a match and they are exploring that area, then they get into an immersed state. That means they lose a sense of time. That is what autotelic experience is. Again, this is something that we might have experienced. We need to enable our students to go through those kind of experience of immersion, depth, and stuff like that. Okay. So primarily, we tend to, when it is a flow experience, people tend to forget about themselves.
അതൊക്കെ
So
വളരെ
forget about, excuse me.
സോറി സർ
Yeah.
സോറി
Yeah. So you are not speaking to me, right? Oh, yeah. I think is not speaking to me. Fine. So then comes how motivation can be addressed. So motivation can be addressed in this with the help of these four things. I already told you about the four basic things about the game. So goals, feedback. We need to create interest into a context and bring challenges. Now, many of these things, as you said, all in all these three areas are coming again and again. So the idea is to design an environment where flow can be facilitated and motivating them to get into that automatic experience. So this is the idea of this model. So whenever we design things, we need to put this thing in our mind. So these are the dimensions that we need to achieve when there is a design. Okay. So that is the model. Now, what are the ideas that you may get to create a game? How can you think about game ideas? So I will give you a few ideas about thinking about a game. For example, let me show you another one game that I have created. Okay, so this is a game. This is also something that I might be speaking about myself. Okay, so I am just checking you that you are good for this also. Are you good with the current flow? I mean, are you able to follow me? Can I introduce one game that I'm using in my classroom? Shall we proceed? This will take 3 to 5 minutes. Then that is it. Okay, so I am closing the session with this. Then it is question answer interaction. Okay, so this is one game that I am using to teach project management. So I showed you a syllabus. This is a game that I am using to teach that syllabus to my students. So this is a board game. So for this particular game, I have created a game board. So this is a game board. You might have seen snake and ladder kind of game boards. This is a project management game board. Okay. So there are, this is actually a project network diagram that I have depicted using the game board. And my students need to actually go from this to this, making a lot of decisions as they proceed. So I'll tell you some of the decision that they'll take. So one decision that they'll take is there is a recruitment decision that they need to take. So they'll recruit these kind of people as required. So for example, they'll be required to hire some people for set of things. So this set of processes require one particular capability. So I'll be giving a list of that also. That means they have to recruit these people. So that means there is a cost coming in. So there is a lot of financial calculations that they need to. So this is an MBA game, MBA classroom kind of a game, where I am enabling my students as a team to make these kind of decisions. Okay, as they make decisions, we use dice also. So as they roll the die, they need to make another set of calculations to progress through the game board, and there is multiple events simultaneously getting executed and stuff like that. And whenever there is one dice that they rolled, they need to take a risk card also. So in project management, the idea of risk is quite important. That means whenever they make a progress, they need to face some risk. So they can make choices about how to deal with this risk. So this is another element that I'm adding to the situation. Similarly, there are contract cards that I use here. So the idea is again the particular team that reaches here with their by after doing all these things, rolling the dice, moving their things, pawns and all. When they reach the delivery, they'll win. So this particular game is actually a total syllabus game. This is not one small classroom game. It will take around 3-4 hours to play. But then this is a total curriculum game that I have designed. So this is also possible. So these are the things that you can, these are the opportunities and scope that you need to think from. Okay, so so that I wanted to show that also. So this is how I practice this particular thing in my classroom. Okay. Now towards the end of the presentation, I'll let you see the framework also, which can be used to develop these kind of games. Okay. So we need to integrate. So integration comes into the picture. So this is the framework that I actually developed to design one particular game. So as I said, we already discussed one thing, how to structure the content. But then there are different examples that we can explore for structuring the content. So this is important. So once you have this idea, as I said, network diagram is one idea for a project management. And I have designed a game, which is a game board using a network diagram itself. So network diagram is getting converted into a board game. So similarly, once you have some idea about the content structure and how connections are there, you will get a lot of gameplay ideas. You can start getting ideating on that aspect. So that is how that part works. See? Now, yeah, I think I think we reached somewhere here, right? Yes. Okay, so that is it. Fine. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Again, I just introduce few concepts to you, a few ideas to you. I showed what I have done and how to think about it. Again, how to start to think about it. You can take my help in designing also. Okay, so Varshini might be able to share my personal contact details, or you can connect to me over LinkedIn. I am very passionate about design, so I can help you to design your game. So I'm available for that. So you can try doing that. Now, a small game that I wanted to make you people. So these are the different routes that was available in the entire process. Okay. So this is the landscape that we navigated. Now I want you to actually identify the route that we have taken. Can you tell me which route we have taken? Is it a pink route, blue route, yellow route, or black route, or brown route? Which is the route that we have taken for navigating these concepts? So we navigated from what are the confusions that we are facing to some basic ideas that we need to, then where to start. We said about why, then we said about the basic elements of a game, the gift model. Then we said about the idea of flow. Then we looked into the EFM model. And before the EFM model, we looked into Cobb's learning framework. Then the EFM model. Then we looked into how can we actually ideate. So there we had a small discussion about the syllabus thing. Then I introduce the learning canvas. How can you actually think about designing an experience? So that is the track that we have taken. Now, my small query to you, I just to make sure that you are listened and followed it. Which track have we taken? Is it a pink track? Is it a yellow track? Is it the blue track? Is it a brown track? Or is it the black track? I can actually, you can post it in the Padlet also, or the chat box. I can access both. Which path? Anybody? You can actually have your WhatsApp chat on and actually share. One person take one path. Somebody will be right, right? So this is how students will game our system. That is also acceptable. Accept that part. Okay, students will game our system. Will game. They will make fun of it. But then that is also allowed because yeah, let them be happy. That part is also good than the usual lecturing process. At least they'll, one thing is that this will be there. Once it is an experience, they will not be able to forget it. Once it is an experience, they'll not be able to forget it. So I am not saying the other way. We are trying our level best to make them memorize. I say once it is an experience, they will not be able to forget it. So make things into an experience is what I suggest. So yeah, that is from my side. Any answers here? Any answers? Any answers? Any answers? Take chances. You can guess. I'm not seeing responses in Padlet also. Let me refresh it once again. See, let me see. Anything is coming here. Okay, okay, okay. Nothing. Okay, so let me stop my sharing. Should I? Should I? I mean, are you all there? Are you able to listen to me? Am I good? Is my audio coming in? Is my question clear? Which track have we taken? Okay, I don't see anybody responding. Okay, so I'll show you once again. So this is a track that we have taken. Fine. So we started this point. So that was just a fun, okay, it's a fun question. So that was not significant. But then this is how I wanted you to memorize. I want to recap. That is only thing. So we started here, then we move towards some ideas that where we can start. Okay. Then we move towards the Y circle. Okay. Then we move towards after Y we move towards the scaffolding thing. Okay. So this thing, right? So that is how the route is emerging. Then the essentials of learning game thing, then feedback or basic things, the idea of flow, then the three framework or the major frameworks that we need to have, and we came back to this canvas design. Okay, so this is a path that we have taken. Okay, so this is a path that we have taken. Right, this pink path. This is a path that we have taken. Okay, fine. So that was just a small question that I wanted to ask. So I stopped my screen sharing. I don't know how much time you will be available for interaction. So this is how I try to do it. You can ask your questions in the Padlet or the chat box or in person. So this is what I wanted to. I mean, obviously we had constraints of time. We need to go a little in depth. Hope I am able to excite you and show you an area where there are many things that can be done. Hope you will start learning about those things now. So that is my hope and that is my wish about the session. So now I'm good for questions. More questions, real questions about the content. Yes. So yeah. So what is the one thing? I'll end with that. So if you are not able to do this kind of big designs, what is the one thing that you can do? Will be the last one that I'll be giving you after the questions. Oh, Rehana, I've said it is a pink track. Yes, Rehana, you were right. I just saw it now. I think we need to give a clap. Yeah. So you were a very good student today. Yes. great. Yep. So questions. Varshini can also help me think if you are there. If not, please post your questions. You can ask in Hindi also. I'll even if I'll be responding in English, but then do ask in Hindi also. But then I need questions.
Rihanna, you're trying to say something?
It's all areas are new things.
No, no, I'm not getting the
I
question.
heard about this gamification.
Rihanna, you need to be louder.
Hello. Is it possible to hear?
Yeah. Can you try it once again?
We heard about the gamification, but all these areas are new knowledge to us. I think
Okay.
to me it is new knowledge. So
Okay.
I'm not reaching to your level. That's the issue what I faced here.
Okay.
I have to again search about the things you shared to us, and after that only we can we will is it
Definitely.
possible to discuss,
So,
otherwise possible to ask questions based on that. uh, but
yeah.
you made us to think in that way. This is
Okay.
not what just little bit not little bit thought about it. uh,
Mhm.
in this way we can proceed in teaching platform. I think we have some ideas, but I think it will be fruitful if it is possible to communicate with you in in the
Please.
forthcoming journey.
So please make use of me. So that is one way I can help you. So because this is what I have learned, I have done. If I can help you, I am very happy to help. Yeah. So let us try designing stuff. Anyway, you are learning design thinking also. So let us try exploring. So yeah, I'm available for that. Is what I will say at this point. Hope at least you understood the scope of it and how it can be, how it can be conceptualized and thought about. Okay. Yes, has it. Let us give it well. Yeah.
Sir, can you please tell in which area you are not good in?
In
Because
terms
we
of
are all forced to become teachers, and that's why we are
okay.
also forced to become learners to follow Varshini and Midun to know about experiential learning since last 3 to 3 months.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
am very much happy that you are. I am the nearest person to you. You
Uh-huh.
may be hardly 40 kilometers away from my
Where
place.
are you located?
I am in Tirur. So I
Tirur.
will
Okay.
surely grab you, excuse
Please,
you.
please. Yeah. I am at Aricot.
Yes,
So yeah.
I understand. I have noticed your CV. Varshini
Okay.
has
Fine.
shared that.
Okay. Fine. Fine. So which I mean, so let us okay talk. Okay. So you can think
That's
about your
okay. I
questions.
will connect you personally.
So
No,
which school college you are
no.
teaching?
I belongs to SSM Polytechnic College Tirur. I'm a polytechnic teacher.
So I have been to Tirur for to I have a I he's not at Tirur now. I had a friend but his house is his parental house is there. I have been to Kulluni,
Yes,
Purattur,
yes, I know.
yeah, Hanuman Kovil. So I
Yes,
have been
yes.
there.
It is
That,
very 5 kilometers away from
okay,
me.
yeah. So I've been there. I mean, so
So
that was
thank
to
you,
visit.
Makerghat, Varshini and team for giving us this gem. I can use the word.
Okay,
And
no,
don't
there are a
worry, we
lot
will
of things
take
that
notes
you are
of
telling
them.
which
The only thing is sometimes Mr. Arun will tell that, oh, don't disturb me too much like that.
no issues. No issues. This
Thank
is
you very much.
this is one area that I am really passionate about. So don't worry about that part.
Actually, as
I'll
Raihana quoted, this is only by your passionate involvement in spiritual, psychological, engineering, management, or whatever. That's why I asked in which area you are not good in. And we don't take the verbal meaning. We don't need to travel towards Harvard University to learn this kind of brilliant development, self-made.
I think Vashini, Ziad is having big plans to use me, hearing him.
Sir,
Yeah.
one more thing I like to add.
No,
Multidisciplinary.
Really.
Midin will understand because today noon I talked with him regarding these things.
Real. I've been to MES once with you
Multi
actually.
come interdisciplinary approach.
I didn't get what?
Multi come interdisciplinary approach. I thought that.
Because I can
Yeah.
tell one small thing.
Multidisciplinary approach and interdisciplinary approach
Yes,
together.
yes, yes. So what you said is really, I mean, an interesting area, interdisciplinary. See, my research is actually an interdisciplinary thing, but then I was forced to do it in management because again, in our universities, interdisciplinary things are not yet in practice, at least in most of the universities. So mine is actually, I think I'm getting feedback.
Sir, your two mics are on. That's why.
No, no, my only one mic is on. It is somebody else. Is there anybody who is two
Okay, now it's
devices?
clear.
Yeah. So multidisciplinarity is that we actually teachers. So what we need to take it from our side because universities and syllabus modification won't make it at least in the near future. So I think we can actually make it happen as teachers. Try to blend. So that is what the last idea is: integrate. You know, to integrate, the various dimensions and give. That is where the real value is getting delivered. So the real connections is built. The essence and the why is revealed. So those kind of things happen in that part. Yeah.
One
So
another thing
Mithun,
that
yeah.
sorry.
No, I was asking Mithun to ask a question. Mithun
Okay,
said,
because we are still in the era of board and chalk. Maximum
ah,
technology we are using in the classroom is an LCD projector and a PPT.
hmm.
So,
See, again, LCD projector is projected as a technology that we use for education, but then we are simply converting the board into a projector is usually the practice level of it. The real technology of that, I don't think again whether it is used, even showing videos. So that is one scope of using an LCD projector. I don't know how much we are actually doing that even. So these are some saying us we might be doing it, but in general it is supposed to progress your network. Okay, I think I have some network issues. Is it clear now?
yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
sir, you are a true living example for a teacher of next generation because you are 200% using the ICT technologies into its maximum extent. I think there is anyone in Kerala or India are using this much of wide range of
Again, so I
technology
might have
tools.
given, yeah. So the thing is that I also do face challenges. Okay. So I said about novelty effect, right? So whenever we do this kind of thing, see, I usually start my teaching in second semester. So second semester, when I do this kind of thing, there is excitement. So when I go to third semester, now I need to actually bring in new things. So challenges are there. I am not saying myself as a perfect or somebody as a perfect. Definitely, even if with this we'll face new challenges, that is okay. But then we might be able to do it in little depth or more depth than we are currently doing for sure. So see, what we'll actually need to teach them. Say they say our education system is more focused on revealing the no, the facts. Also, that is factual level is one. Then comes analytical level. So analytical level even is actually not something that many of us are doing, but then little bit we might be doing at least in the problem based subject. The third thing is critique. See, we need to contextualize things. For example, I said about Chanakya. See, if you look at how Chanakya is portrayed in India, Chanakya is portrayed usually as Indian Machiavelli. Machiavelli is a 17th century person in Europe who was speaking. He have written a book called Prince, which is comparable to the Arthashastra, which Chanakya have written. But then we in India usually say Chanakya is Indian Machiavelli. Chanakya lived in 3rd BC, we'll never say that Chanakya is actually, or say Machiavelli is actually European Chanakya. Why we are not doing is because we have this colonial mindset and approach. See, that is how this is an example of critique. So this kind of learning in depth, why we are comparing Chanakya to Machiavelli, and that too saying that Chanakya is Indian Machiavelli is because we have gone through a colonizing experience, colonial experience. So that is critique. We need to go beyond the subject. I don't know how far we are away from these kind of approaches towards learning. Even in our higher education institutions, we are not doing this. So when we reach the higher education institution, we need to do this thing, critique. Up to that level, yeah, we might be able to do the analytical analysis itself is good. But higher education, we must be able to do the critique part of it. So I mean, I think we also have some responsibility there as teachers. There are things that we can try to do. I think we are able to do. It is little bit work. We might need to do more work for sure, but we are in a position to do. We can actually do. So that is how I think. So that is where my interest in history comes in, culture comes in. Whenever I teach a concept in, say, in a business, I try to contextualize it using history. For example, I am coming from a okay. So they say we shall not ask jati and say jati. So my jati is called Shalia. Okay. So Ziyad might be knowing. I don't know how much Mithun is knowing. Uh, Near to my home, there is a river called Chaliar. Actually, a big river. Chaliar goes from one of the forests nearby called Nilambur to Calicut. See, Chaliar in those days, in no, say around 200 years back, and used to be one major route for transporting goods from this region to Calicut port. So how come Chaliar got the name is actually related to our community called Chalia, because we were the weavers in those times. We were a weaver community. See, I teach business and say this idea to them, reveal this idea to them. That makes that like helps me to get their attention. Okay, so okay, fine. So there is a story like that. So we can use these kind of things to sprinkle ideas. You might be able to say some stories, very interesting stories about famous scientists. These are funny stories. You will get a lot of stories. Now those kind of things are available on internet. So you tell these kind of stories so that they'll remember the stories, and then one concept might get connected to the story. Yeah, fine, good. So that is also a way you can think about learning, teaching, and stuff like that. Yeah. Again, I said don't allow me to speak, because when you allow me to speak, I won't speak. So Mithun, do you have a question? Everybody, I mean, I would love to listen to other people as well. We have
In my college, the new semester started yesterday.
okay, okay,
So since last 1 month there was examinations going on. So I was passionate to introduce the new topic. I am teaching data structures in computer science through C programming.
okay.
So initially to grab attention, I uh, decided to play the game taught by Mr. Midun.
Okay.
I took one water bottle and started with a discussion on can you redesign this thing to
Okay.
use by a 3-year-old kid. Design thinking as I told them that I will take only 20 minutes to cover today's portion from the respective topic. The
Okay.
remaining time I spend with the jokes and telling them about some social significant problem identification and the different phase of starting from empathy mapping, etc. And finally, I concluded the session with 1 hour, and I started teaching the real topic to which I have to convey them. And I turned to the board and written the codes. Then few people started talking from the backside.
Hmm.
So the entire drama planned by me has been broken. So
Now, what I usually do
that
is
is
I
the
allow.
scenario in
Yeah,
we are facing, because
yes,
now
but
after COVID we cannot seek attention from people. That is a psychological
that's a
problem,
psychological thing.
because
Yes,
they
but
are not into early. All the experts say that we cannot seek the attention of a student more than 20 minutes. Now even 2 minutes we cannot seek a continuous
it is
attention.
it is it is 10 to 30 seconds. That is the
Yeah.
real snap status
Yes.
time. 10 to 30
So if
seconds.
we are
This face wipe, this face wipe.
making some joke or playing fun, they are 100% listening. But how to communicate a core programming idea of coding and
Ziyaji, now the
programming syntax?
next challenge that hope you are aware of ChatGPT and hope you are helping them to know ChatGPT also. So before they use it in their projects, you use it in your classroom is what you can think. So because they'll be using it in their life, ChatGPT is actually disrupting many things. So if you are especially into programming, there is no need to program anything now. You can ask the ChatGPT to actually write a code to do this thing. It will give you any code. You can actually ask it to do a Java code or a Python code, whatever you want. So that kind of capability is already there. So they'll be thinking, why are we actually learning C++ to
Yes,
do
maybe
these things?
because everything is
And
in the, so
yeah,
they can just Google and take the code,
exactly. So we
and they
might
are
also
much
actually
confident that only they need only 1 day to attend the examination, max
exactly,
1 day.
exactly. So like if it is so that is one advantage. If it is possible for them to actually learn it in 1 day, don't worry about exams. You teach other things, the real things. Okay, then have this 1 day towards the end, and then you deliver the examination content on those days. They'll be better listening on those time as well. When the exam is announced, we'll get better attention. This is what I have seen. So that will also happen. And one policy that I am using. Rehana, you are trying to speak something.
Sir, is there any possibility to inculcate virtual reality in actual learning platform?
How
Virtual
to use VR?
reality to inculcate. And one more question: for storytelling, is it possible to include a podcast in actual classroom? How is it possible to inculcate?
Okay, so you are asking
That
two
is
questions.
uh, uh, st- uh, storytelling. Uh, Storytelling, we can use just audio only. No need of video part. Then this it will be more comfortable while we are laying in bed, or like that situation, or otherwise simply tell the students to simply put their head in the bench desk and just listen the audio part. Just listen the story related with our topic. Is it possible to include podcasts? Is there audio part, audio books?
You can mute your audio now. Yeah. So two things. How to use VR? VR is too gadgets dependent a thing. So I don't think how we'll be able to use it right now. If your school or system is not providing, if their system is providing the technology, then I will be able to use it. It is a immersive experience, but then content is not yet there. We need to. There is a lot of things that need to come into the content part as well to actually use it in a classroom. So it will take some time. So it might become fast with the AI technology that is coming. Creation of content will become easy, but it will take some time. So there is a lot of investment that is. So Western countries or developed countries, we can see these kind of things happening earlier than our mass education systems. We'll have premium institutes might introducing it. But personally, I think the attention span issue will be there as well. See, 3.5 hours, how much ever a good movie, even if it is a very good movie, people get distracted nowadays. So mobile phone distraction is a reality. So that I don't think will become a very significant thing, although it will become something interesting. But then there are other technologies coming in. So, for example, Neuralink kind of a things. So this is scary as well. So you can insert chips into people's mind Elon Musk is developing that kind of technology. So this chip can be used to access internet completely. So you don't need this kind of interface to access internet. You can directly connect with the internet. So that way, again, accessing information will become a completely outdated thing. We should not think about accessing information. Then it becomes completely on processing information and critiquing the information. So we are actually moving towards that part of it. And finally, I think you are into STEM. Now STEM has become STEAM. So STEAM is arts getting into it. So the final range or final see learning is from information to analysis to critique, and finally it is aesthetics. So aesthetics is art. Uh, Actually developing a person to um, get entertained with a situation. That is art. So art is the premium of all these learning cycles. So art is coming in big way. So tomorrow it will be art that defines people and art that is unique to people, because everything else will be taken by machines. So that is how the world is emerging. So we need to have or train our students of this affinity at least, because our students, especially when they are in school nowadays, they are kind of say 8, 10 years old, say 15 years old. Another 15 years, this will manifest in their life. They will be required to become artists than scientists. So we can give this kind of input so that they are good artists, good at least good connoisseurs who can enjoy it. So because other things will not be when you if you want to make yourself happy. So right now, if you ask me, and even if you look our lives, we kind of get happy after work or through work. So there is an element of happiness that we get through our work, but then that will not be required in the future. They will be asking us to be happy otherwise as well. How to be happy without doing anything will be a big challenge to us, because money will be given by these people or the system. There will be universal basic income that is coming in. So we'll be required to do creative, very original things, which is signatures of individuals. So the copy paste culture will completely go away, because that will be taken by machines. So productive part things will usually run by machines. So that is futuristic. I'm telling something that is futuristic, but this future is not that far away. It might be 20 years, 30 years down the line. That is actually our students will experience it. As teachers, we can prime them towards this world. We can introduce this world to them. Okay, so that is one thing. Storytelling, I'll suggest you to explore stories related to your content. See, I told you stories related to the concept that I teach. Say why. I said a story about Chanakya. So I teach business. I said a story about my place. See how my community is connected to the name of a river that is flowing through my place. So I have other stories also. See, I try to connect, or the stories actually comes as anchors. So this concept means there is a story. So you can have, I don't know, say chemistry, you might get stories about Madame Curie. Maths, you definitely will get stories about mathematicians. So interesting stories, which is connected to the concept also. That thing we need to work. We need to search and find these stories. Podcast need not be used inside the classroom. You can assign or give podcasts as assignments. Say, ask them to listen to a podcast, say a 10-minute, 15-minute podcast as a homework, and ask them a work around it. So that is possible. So it's called blended mode of blended mode is what is usually referred to as this part. When you are in a classroom, let you be the storyteller. You need not use audio technology to actually deliver the story, unless it is a diverse thing. So you can make one class listen to one podcast, one group listen to one podcast, another group listen to another podcast, third group listen to a third podcast about the same content, then ask them to actually discuss about it. That is possible, because you will not be able to do all these three together. So, but then if you actually do it in three groups and they are listening to three different opinions about one thing, and then we are facilitating the discussion, that will do something else. So that way you can use that. But then you need to actually see. You can even design games around YouTube. See, I have thought, but I haven't designed. I haven't got an opportunity to actually. If you are interested, we can actually design games related to specific videos in YouTube, so that while they play the game, they go through those videos and something happens in the game. So that is possible. So that is how we need to use the content. We need to be creative, little more creative, to blend it into our way of mode of delivery, our curriculum. So it is possible, but then we need to have a little more broader design view and approach towards it. That is the only thing.
Amazing.
I would like to add one point.
So, Siad, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Sorry
you
to
continue.
interrupt. Thank you so
You
much, guys,
continue.
for all the intriguing questions. And Mr.
Yeah,
Arun, thank you so much for your responses. I think all of us got a
thank you.
lot of amazing ideas that we can implement directly in our classrooms. I know that there are a lot of
Yes,
questions flowing in, but what we'll do in this point is we're already 1 hour over time. So we'll anyway share details of Mr. Arun with all of you so that you can directly
please,
contact
please.
him and
So
ask him
exactly,
all the questions that you have, and it will really help you out, I guess. But Arun, thank you so much for the session. I still remember when
thank you.
I was teaching. Also, I used to struggle a lot to find the video, like games, and to make the sessions very interactive. But I guess for all our fellows now, we've got an amazing person here. So whenever you want any help, any support, please feel free to reach out to Mr.
Please,
Arun,
please,
and
please.
he'll definitely help us out with this. And it was really amazing to see your thought process, and as you are explaining, your passion was reflecting throughout. So
Thank
it
you.
was a great session for all of us, and a lot of insights, lot of thoughts that came in. And I'll also be disturbing you now about
Please,
for
please,
any questions or anything that I have.
please,
So
please.
yeah, thank you so
You're
much for the
doing good
session,
work.
Mr.
So that is why I loved Makerghat is doing good work. See, I am not in a position to actually reach out, right? So I am in Kerala, that to a corner, a family man, father of a young kid. So there are limitations, right? So, but then
Yeah.
you people are doing it. I am very
And
happy to
father
actually
of three
support it.
kids.
Not that, right? We have physically kind of, there is some kind of confinements that everybody gets into. I'm also confined like that. So this kind of opportunity is something that actually helps us to reach out, and I mean, we need to contribute. So this is my idea of contributing. So giving to people who are really, using it. So there are people who will use it for commercial purposes. That is also fine. But very pure commerce without anything is something that I'm not that supportive of. You can use it for commerce, but then when there is some kind of other values also that is getting delivered, then it is good.
Right. So
So
one
yeah.
main reason of our fellowship is also to create this community where we can reach out
Mm.
to help each other and to support each other. So yeah, I think we have got a new member also to our community. So all of us will definitely be reaching out. So thank you so much, Arun. Any other concluding remarks that you'd like to share?
I know. I Padlet. You can all the fellows. Please put your learnings. So a list of learnings. That is what I am expecting, and a feedback. Okay, so you can add two things. Whatever you learned, whatever you remember. So please let me know so that I can also improve, and some feedbacks. So this is something else that you can do. We can do kind of things. Your teachers, we are teachers. So I love feedbacks, real feedbacks. Uh, uh, ZRG, don't say it is good, good and all. Okay, say this is. So it's very, very specific. I love specific feedback. So please do give me. You can use a Padlet platform. You can install actually the platform. It can be installed in your mobile phone, in your computer. It syncs, so you can actually, you get the content everywhere. Then I use mind mapping softwares also. See all those kind of things, technical tools. Again, I would love to introduce these schemes again if Makercat is interested in actually, exploring those things, technology tools that can be used, or we can think about those kind of sessions also. Yeah, so I mean, I will say make use of me in whatever way you can. Let us explore whatever is possible, because we are trying to reach out to the next generation, right? So I said there are responsibilities that we have, and I think I believe in the higher power. So if there is some kind of combination of skills is manifested in us, I think there is something that forces us to spread it, because that manifestation happens because of a reason is what I think. So let us try spreading that. So that is our responsibility. Let us let us
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arun. So, guys, we'll also be sharing our feedback forms with you after the session. So, you can fill out the feedback forms and we'll definitely share
Yes.
it with you as well. So, thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Bye. Take care. See you guys
Thank
later.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
you.
Good night. Good night.